Welcome now to part 3 of your coffee experience with Excelsa by Komal and Akshay from Ulemanai Estate. We've just learned about the estate and I really want to dive into Excelsa coffee.
So there are 133 coffee species currently. This is one of them and it's called Coffee Excelsa. We've been working on Coffee Excelsa for the last 5 years, probably 6 years now. And we've been selling it across the world to different, very interesting coffee roasters.
Because coffee is a shrub, right? So it grows around 2 meters high and you can run between it and harvest the fruit. But actually in India, Excelsa has the name Marakapi. I hope I don't butcher it too much, but that means translated tree coffee. And this is because, different to Arabica and Robusta, Excelsa is actually a tree that grows up to 10 meters tall. So instead of pickers running through the aisles of coffee and picking it, you see them on a ladder picking into a pouch that is on their hip, and they pick the Excelsa there. There is a few more reasons why I think that Excelsa is really cool. So while Arabica and Robusta need the right climate to grow, this plant actually needs a lot of care. So you need to prune it a lot, but you also need to be very wary. You taste the sweetness of this coffee, right? So bugs love it, especially the berry borer. It loves Excelsa for its high sugar content, but once the berry borer is in the cherry, it will eat the seed and we will get a hollow bean. Thankfully, it has been sorted out if a berry borer has infected it. But Komal and Akshay do it right. Once the cherry is ripe and has its peak ripeness, they harvest it immediately, so that the berry borer that likes the ripe cherries doesn't even get the time to get onto it. And because of that, on recent farms that are not as focused on Excelsa, Excelsa has actually been used together with Liberica as so-called sacrifice trees. And it is my fun fact number 3. So they have been planted at the edge of the farms so that bugs eat them instead of the more valuable Arabica. But of course, if we have such a seldom coffee, then we need to treat it right. And that's what Komal and Akshay and their team at Ulemanai Estate do. And here comes now fun fact 4. Excelsa, contrary to Robusta, which because of the low growing height of around 800 to 1000 meters, needs to develop a lot of caffeine to protect itself from bugs. Caffeine is a protection from bugs. This Excelsa doesn't have much caffeine. It has been measured that it only has a caffeine content of 0.5%, which is much lower than Arabica and Robusta. So this coffee you can also drink before your night and sleep time, basically like a tea, and you will not feel it as much. And this is super unusual, as I said, because usually low-growing coffees need a lot of caffeine to protect themselves from the bugs, but this one doesn't. This actually supports the sacrifice tree story, right? But I really want to now, to finish this chapter, leave you with one thing. Can this coffee tree be the future of coffee? Arabica is vulnerable to the rising temperature, and it needs cool climates and low humidity to thrive. But with the earth warming up, this will just become a challenge. So, which species can bring us coffee enjoyment with good taste for the future? What you drink here, it could very well be the future. And maybe right now it's not fully to your taste, but with the work of Komal and Akshay and other Excelsa farmers, we will get there in the future, is what I think. We need a coffee tree that is more robust and can withstand different climates. So I think you're right now drinking something really special, that it's in its infancy and that is growing and that we're exploring. So I think you have a huge, or we all have a huge privilege with that. And I'm super happy to have been able to source this coffee. So yeah, thank you Decide Up, and thank you Komal and Akshay. With that, I see you in the next part for a pricing breakdown, and then we finalize this video experience. See you there. Bye bye.